Your team is watching you, every move, every decision, every word that you use. And whether you realize it or not, they're making a decision if they should trust you or not. And you have only about 90 days to get it right. After 20 years leading in corporate world, I've learned that trust is the single biggest factor in making or breaking a leader. Based on many studies, trust in leadership is what is critical for the performance of the team. Today, I'm going to share 5 science-backed strategies how to build trust with your team, not in months, but in weeks. Plus, I'll reveal the single biggest trust killer that most of leaders fall into so you can avoid it. Strategy 1. The vulnerability move. Research from Harvard Business School shows that leaders who admit when they don't know are ranked higher as trustworthy but also competent than the ones who pretend. Let's face it, our employees are smart. People are smart. They would know when you don't know, but you pretend that you know, and they're also gonna question if you're even competent, if you really deserve the leadership role. When you don't know an answer, say, I don't have that right now, but I'll get back to you by a specific day and time. Keep a log of questions you couldn't answer and follow up consistently. Model curiosity. Say, let's learn this together. Vulnerability signals honesty, and honesty is the main factor to build psychological safety, which is the key not only to build trust with your team, but also to create high-performing teams. And once you've shown vulnerability, the next step is proving consistency, because openness only matters if your team knows that they can count on you. Strategy 2. The follow-through formula. Employees are 4 times more likely to trust the leaders who follow through consistently on their promises. And let's face it, we're all very busy and we might forget the promises that we make in the heat of a moment or in our one-on-ones, and we jump to the next meeting. So write down every commitment immediately. Always follow up with 24 to 48 hours, even if the update is just, I'm still working on it. Break big promises into smaller deliverables so people see progress. Reliability is the foundation of credibility. Small promises kept always outweigh big promises broken. But trust isn't just about keeping promises. It's also about how you respond in the moment. And one of the fastest ways to lose trust is to start solutioning and fixing problem before even you hear your employees. Strategy 3. Listen without fixing. Research shows that employees who feel truly heard report much higher engagement rate, but also they feel more comfortable to share challenges with their leaders. And it's really important to build that psychological safety with the team so they can share the challenges timely with you before those turns to crisis. When someone brings up an issue, pause before answering. Say, tell me more about that. Dedicate 10 to 15 minutes of listening time each week for open conversations. Now, I know 10 to 15 minutes of listening time, especially if you have a big team, might sound a lot of time. The way that I've been trying to manage it is that I remind myself during my one-on-ones that I have to assign at least 50% of that meeting as listening time. And that's when I try to really listen, repeat the last 2 to 3 words that they say, so leveraging mirroring technique, and just really try to listen and ask questions rather than rushing to solutions. People trust leaders who validate their experiences, not just rushing to solution their problems. Now, listening is really powerful, but there's another level of credibility, how you handle your own mistakes. And that's where many of the leaders stumble. Admit and own mistakes. Research shows that leaders who admit their own mistakes foster a much higher level of trust and collaboration within their teams than the ones who deflect blame on either their teams or on their stakeholders. And let's face it, if your manager ever made a mistake and they try to blame it on something else or someone else, how would you feel about that? It's exactly how your team would feel if you try to not admit your own mistakes. Just admit it, especially the embarrassing ones, own it up, learn from it, and move on. Own mistakes immediately. That was my error. Here's how I'll fix it. Share lessons in team meetings so everyone learns. Thank team members who admit mistakes to encourage accountability. And that last bullet point is such a key. Not only you want to own your own mistakes, but also you want to encourage the team members to admit their mistakes and fix it, own it, feel accountability for it, and move on. Because not only the transparency that you're creating in your team creates credibility, but also it creates a culture of honesty, which is really key, again, to make people feel safe to raise issues and not hide it, which is always going to end up being a much bigger issue anyway. Now, honesty, of course, builds credibility, but that credibility is not going to last unless people know and you show it to them that you personally care for them and you don't look at them as just employees and tools. Show you care. Research shows that employees who feel the leaders genuinely care about them are 3 times more likely to stay engaged and loyal. Ask one non-work question in every one-on-one. Track personal milestones like birthdays and achievements. Acknowledge tough days with a simple check-in. Celebrate small wins with genuine recognition. And always remember, trust thrives when people feel that they're being treated like human beings, not just like employees and tools. And once you've done all of this, there's still one pitfall that many of the leaders fall into, and that can completely undo all the good work that you've done. Over-promising. I know that when you talk to your employee, you want to make them to like you, and we all do. And you want to recognize their good work. You want to promote the best people in your team. You want to do good for your team, but do not overpromise things to them. Do not overpromise the promotion that's not written in paper. Do not promise a bonus that you might not have 100% control over. It's always safer to underpromise and overdeliver. And that's not just for your team. It's for projects. It's for your boss. Always underpromise, but over-deliver. It's not just under-promise and under-deliver. Under-promise, but over-deliver. And if you want to go deeper into leadership communication, check out my next video on tactical empathy and mirroring techniques that's completely changed my leadership style. And if you like this video, hit subscribe. On a weekly basis, I share practical leadership strategies to help you become a more confident leader.